Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the high school football season in the Tri-State starts this Friday with the Crosstown Showdown for both Indiana and Kentucky, that is. Ohio will get started next week. So along those lines, we bring in the coaches tonight. Just a couple of guys who have had some tremendous success at their programs over the last couple of years, specifically last year as well. It's Dan Wagner from NewCath, Brian Weinrich, of course, from Highlands. You win a championship in your first season. You take over a program where they not only hope to win championships, they expect to with those 23 titles, 22 before you got there. Was that added pressure for you, taking over that position?
You know, it's just, I guess I knew what to expect being there, for so long. I've been coaching there since 1995, so I've been a part of, a lot of great teams. And all I've ever known is Highlands. Mm-hmm. From the day I was born until now, that's where I've always been, gone to games. I've been coaching there since 1995, so I knew what I was getting into, I think.
Yeah, and Dan, your team at NewCath last year goes 8-6, wins regional once again, runner-up in the state. That's 2 years running, runner-up in the state. Yes. You don't have to do a lot of motivating this year. You're bringing back a lot of your players from the last 2 seasons who finished runner-up. They don't want to do that again.
No, we don't. It was a tough one last year. Well, they got after us pretty good. The sales did, and we've been that's been a talk since we started in the weight room back in January. So kids pretty well motivated with it.
As they should be, of course. And Coach Weinrich, last year in your championship game against Bowling Green, you're trailing 42-21 at the half. You win 49-42. I'm wondering what you said at halftime, specifically to your defense. After they gave up 42, they pitch a shutout in the second half.
It was just one of those nights in the first half. If it could go wrong, it did go wrong. And we knew that there's just no way that could happen again. And if it did happen again in the second half, then it just wasn't meant to be. So we couldn't score 21 points in one play, and we couldn't get 42 points back in one play. So we just had to come out and just take one play and try to make each one positive.
Well, you certainly did that. A historic comeback to win that state championship. You've got a running back, Jacob Smith, who likely this season will go over 4,000 yards rushing for his career. Yes. Do you tailor things for him this season? Because I know you also have a junior quarterback who played as a sophomore, and you've got a lot of options on offense is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we do have some options, and obviously you're going to ride your best player, yep. And he's pretty special talent. So, yeah, we are building things around him and bring Patrick along slow so he gets the feel of it. And he looked pretty good the other night in scrimmage, made some nice decisions.
Coach Weinrich, you do not have a certain player coming back in Bo Hodge, and I'm wondering what your plans are for the position. How do you replace a young man like that, someone who is somewhat irreplaceable?
He was special,
yeah.
And it was one of those things we didn't really know what we had until he was gone, unfortunately. I mean, yeah. we knew he was really good, but when it was over, he got to step back. But, Austin Herget will be a senior. He's patiently been sitting just like the last 4 or 5 quarterbacks we've had. The good and the bad is we've had a senior quarterback every year, but never had a returning starter quarterback, I think, since Patrick Tolles, and that's been a while. So, Austin's really done what he's needed to do to get ready for this year. And a lot of talent around him, so he's settling in fine.
Do you put a little more on Nick Kendall this year? He's a senior running back coming back. Put a little more on him this year to kind of let him.
Yeah, he had a great junior year, and they've all had 1 year now in the offense, and we're going to have to rely heavily on Nick, especially early.
All right, short on time, so let's get your thoughts on the Crosstown Showdown this week. You are getting Scott.
Correct.
Coach Woolley has done a nice job there. We talked about this off camera before. They were in a bad way, that program. He's had a couple of winning seasons in a row. What do you expect from them on Friday night?
I expect a very tough football team. They like to run the football and run a lot. As I was telling you out there, I don't even know how to start to describe that offense. It's a different offense, completely has some tendencies of the wing T in it. Mm-hmm. So we'll just get after it, and hopefully I think our defense is pretty sound, so we'll see how sound we are.
And Coach Weinrich, you will open up Highlands against Cooper. What do you know about Cooper so far? Obviously, it's tough to tell. You haven't really seen anybody yet.
Well, this is our first time ever playing them,
yeah.
So we didn't know what to expect. We know that they've had a lot of success last couple of years. Coach Borchers is a top-notch coach as there is in Northern Kentucky, and only having one scrimmage on them, the first thing you saw right away was that they were big, they were physical, and they were very sound at what they do.
All right, Coach Weinrich from Highlands, thanks so much. Best of luck to you, and best of luck to you as you look to break that schneid of losing in the state finals and break through and win one.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, guys. We appreciate it. Looking forward to the high school football season, which again starts this Friday with the Crosstown Showdown in Kentucky.